I'm probably getting really loud right now, and I apologize. In fact, I've been loud throughout this whole video. What are we talking about? Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I decided I would do a quick little review video for you guys of a book series that I absolutely adore that I read back in middle school, and it is the Shadow Falls book series. I decided to do a review on this because I reread it recently. I put it in my TBR for this month. I don't know if you guys saw that. Well, I ended up finishing the whole series, and I decided it would be a good idea just to maybe film a video and express to you guys how much I now notice about the book and how it is flawed, but it's still pretty fantastic at the same time. And before I go any further, I would just like to let you guys know that here in a second I'm going to get into all the spoiler parts of this review. Right after I give you guys the description, I'll give you a quick little spoiler-free thing, and then we're going to get into all the spoilers. I'm going to be giving away so many details, so if you don't want that, stop after that. I will let you know when to stop. Okay, so let's get into this. The book series is about a girl named Kylie Gallen. Her parents are currently going through a divorce, and so she decides, I'm going to go get out of the house, go do something fun, so she decides to go to a party. Well, the issue was it had drugs, alcohol. The police came. She went to the police station. Her mom was ticked and decided to send her to a camp for troubled teens. Well, turns out it's not for troubled teens. It's for the supernatural. Okay, and her mom obviously doesn't know this because it was recommended to her by a psychiatrist that her daughter was seeing. So the psychiatrist knew. But anyway, so basically, Kylie goes and she finds out that there is this supernatural world filled with vampires, werewolves, witches, fairies, and shapeshifters. Oh my gosh, I can't talk today, guys. Anyway, so Kylie also finds out that she herself is not human. They don't know what she is, but they know she's for certain not human and can communicate with the dead. So Kylie covers more of her gifts as the series progresses, as well as tries to deal with communicating with the dead and help them with their issues and everything. Not only throughout the book series does she navigate that, but she also deals with a love triangle that's going on between her, a werewolf Lucas, who she's known for years, used to be her neighbor, and this fairy named Derek, who reminds her a lot of her ex. And so the whole book series, she's just trying to figure out who she wants to be with. So really quickly, getting into this, I would just like to say quickly that basically here are the quick things that are good about the book, and that is the way that the story is made and how, well, I mean, like there's a uniqueness to the story that makes it good and to the point where you're like, okay, I want to read this. But there is one little detail I want to get into before I get into the spoilers, because this actually isn't really a spoiler. It just has to do more with the author. She does not write as well as I would have liked. She has a tendency to basically write like a sex-crazed teenage girl, and I expect more from a grown woman writing a YA novel, because it just kind of comes across like, I don't know, there were a lot of iffy moments because of her writing, and so that was kind of the main issue for me. But I did adore the book, and I do love it, and I do highly recommend it. Well, the book series. But anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and get into the spoilers now. So if you guys do not want those, I'd go, yeah. Okay, so here are the main issues that I had with the book, and then I'm gonna get into the stuff I adored. And the issue is, you have to kind of read it to understand the charm that it has, because it does have some charm, but it's kind of a lot easier to look at it and just tell you guys the flaws rather than go in detail to everything that's great about it, because it's just, there is something just about it to where you're like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. So let's just kind of get into this. So the thing I really liked was the friendship that Kylie had with Della and Miranda, her roommates. Della is a vampire and Miranda is a witch. So they all have like this really great thing where they stick together and they're really close, and it's really sweet, in all honesty. And there is a lot of fighting amongst them, but you know that they would do anything for each other, and I think that was really a nice touch on the book. The thing I didn't like was but also kind of liked, was the love triangle. Now, here's why. When you get into the book series and as it goes on, both of these guys that the author has written are jerks. When it comes down to it, they're both jerks. Derek, he, you know, is really close with Kylie in the beginning, and they're just like, oh my gosh, yes. And then, okay, he just kind of looks at her and goes, no, you have a thing for Lucas. I'm out of here. I'm going to go help the FRU, which is an organization in the FBI for the supernatural. So he just kind of leaves her, and, you know, she's heartbroken. Like, she felt like she was in love with him. And he comes back, and he tries to act like he's gonna get her back, and everyone's like, you should go back to Derek. You should totally go back to Derek. I'm like, oh my gosh, you should go back to him. And I'm sitting there the whole entire time, like, he legit just walked away. She told him over and over again it was over between her and Lucas, because they did have a little something something for a hot minute in the first book, and then Lucas ditched her too. So it was just kind of like, what's with these jerky guys just leaving? Like what's that about? And so it was annoying. And then to make matters worse, you know, you got the Lucas crap that he did, and he would like basically choose to pack over her over and over and over again, and he would just constantly pick the pack over her and her family over her, and he would just let everybody badmouth her, treat her like garbage, go on and on about how you mean everything to me, but I gotta do what I gotta do to get in the council to change things, da 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 da. And the whole time you're just like, first of all, man up, you little wimp. If you want to do something, do it the right way and treat your woman with respect. And then, come to find out, he was secretly getting ready to get engaged with this other girl. And you're like, first of all, you are in a relationship with another girl, and you're pretending not to be in a relationship with her in order to, like, try to change things for the werewolves. Like what is that about? So then you get into the whole issue where now that Derek's done that, everyone's like, he feels so bad, Kylie, go back to him. And I'm like, first of all, why are half of you saying go to Derek, the other half saying go to Lucas? And in reality, neither one of them are a good choice, especially Derek. Like, I'm sorry, like, Lucas is an idiot too. They both are like the biggest idiots, but Derek really gets on my nerves just because he went up to Kylie and was like,
I know you're with him, but my emotions, man. I'm connected to you. I can feel your emotions because I'm a fairy. And the issue is, in order for me to feel better, I need to tell you that I'm in love with you. And I know that you're with Derek, and I'm totally screwing you over right now. I'm making things more difficult for you, but I have to make myself feel better. Are you okay, Kylie? Love me!
That was that. And so she doesn't choose Derek, she chooses Lucas, and I like Lucas. I really like Lucas, but at the same time I don't, because he is such a flawed character. Oh my gosh. Okay. He's just like this, so possessive. And it's just it's concerning. There's a comment he made in the last book when she was trying to tell him, no, we can't be together. Nope, because you did this to me. You can't choose the council over me. He's like,
you don't get a choice in the matter. I'll always be yours. You'll always be mine. There's no choice in this. I will love you.
And you, and I know you love me. And it's like, first of all, are you her? Do you know if she loves you or not? I mean, are you her? Let's get into something that I do adore about the book, and that is the relationship between the head of the camp, Holiday, and our main character, Kylie. It's kind of like this really cool sister relationship, and they do confide in each other quite a bit and do trust each other, which I feel is really nice. I don't know, I just feel like it really helped Kylie out a lot, because if she needed somebody to confide in, she'd go to Holiday, and Holiday was like, I'm here for you, you can tell me anything you need. And then Kylie helped out Holiday. She set her up with the FRU agent, Burnett, okay, I can't pronounce his name, because I read it and I pronounce it a certain way in my head, and I know I'm going to pronounce it wrong. But anyway, she helped her get with him and get over her issues and help her deal with the loss of her sister, and it was just so good to Holiday, and Holiday was so good to Kylie, and it was a sweet relationship. Another issue that I have with this book, when you read a YA novel, a lot of the time you do get like some fairly chill teens, and then in this book you got like teens who were like so stubborn and stupid and freaking out over like the littlest things, and I was just kind of like, okay, Okay. I may do this myself. That doesn't mean I want to read characters who react like that. I'd rather have some stable characters. Thank you. I just want some stable characters. Like, I'm not a stable person. That doesn't mean that I want to read people who are like me. I want to read about characters who are calmer than me because I'm a little crap. So I don't know. Okay, so another issue I had with the book is how Kylie's parents were. I did like it in the beginning because Kylie and her mom kind of came to this realization, and kind of became close. You know, because they never really were close. Kylie always had issues with her mom, and come to find out the issue stemmed from the fact that the man who her mom was married to is not Kylie's biological dad. It turns out who her dad was, I'll get into that in a minute, but he passed away. And so it starts to make sense to Kylie why they can't figure out if she's supernatural based on her parents, because one of her parents isn't her biological parent. So it helped them out, and it did create a good relationship for them. But then her mom decided to date, and that just kind of went downhill, especially because of the fact that the guy her mom was dating was not a good guy. Turns out to be one of the main villains in the story. And basically Kylie has to deal with that, and she does try to warn her mother, and that's the sad part. And her mom's just kind of like, Kylie, I know you want me to get back together with your dad, but that's not gonna happen, sweetie. Like, you just need to move on. It's gonna be okay. And it really isn't, because Kylie ends up having to save her life later, and it's just kind of like, woman, you should have known better. Like, you really should have, and you should have listened to your daughter. Like, really. And not only that, but there was this big issue with not only with her mom, but with her dad. Her dad calmed himself and regretted his actions, but he cheated on her mom, and that was why they got the divorce. So she kind of always blamed her mom. To come to find out, it's her dad's fault. And he basically is going through like this massive midlife crisis and has begun to basically see a younger woman, and Kylie catches him out in town making out with this woman in front of everyone. And it is absolutely disgusting, and it traumatizes, it just messes with Kylie, like, so much. And you think that's annoying, and you think, okay, whatever, you know, he made a mistake, but he continues to make more mistakes, and he does correct himself. They do get okay towards the end, which is good, but he's just kind of like,
I'm gonna use my daughter as a way to get to the mom and get back in her life now that my midlife crisis didn't work out because I was utterly humiliated and dumped by the young woman I was dating. And I always did love her mother. It's just, I wanted a young woman to, make me feel good about myself. And I'm just kind of like, you little piece of trash.
it gets worse with the mom, because while she's dating the dude, her mom just kind of becomes this very crappy person, just kind of snapping at her daughter, arguing with her over the stupidest things, and things that she really shouldn't be arguing with her about. She let the guy she was dating say some rude things to her daughter. I mean, don't get me wrong, the daughter was saying rude things to him, and the mom should say something to her, but the fact that the man was going, you have a lack of respect. But I just remember being so ticked off. Like, first of all, okay, you are not her parent. That's the job of the parent. Don't tell them how to raise their kid or how to discipline their kid or if their kid has lack of disrespect. Like, legit. And the only person that was getting this was Kylie's, like, stepdad. He's just over there like, don't talk about my daughter. Don't say this about my daughter. Like, da-da-da-da-da-da. Like, I get that Kylie was in the wrong, but that man should not have been saying what he was saying. Like, some of you can disagree with me on that, but I feel very strongly about it, because I'm like, you're not her dad. You should not say that to her. Leave the discipline to the parents, because it's my favorite thing whenever other people, outside people, whether or not they're in a relationship with somebody who has a kid or not in a relationship with the kid, likes to try to help a parent discipline, like, legit. Like, if any of you guys have seen Little House on the Prairie, Mrs. Olsen would do that with the Ingalls kids. Would be like, if that were my kid, they would totally be, like, so disciplined. Like, I would just... Oh my gosh, I would never tolerate that from my kids. And then you look over at her demon daughter and you're like, obviously you do. Like, it's so bad. And it kills me. It really kills me. And it's one of my biggest issues with people, and it's just my biggest pet peeve. Like, you can think whatever you want to, don't say it out loud. Like keep your mouth shut. And that's, anyway, it's one of my biggest issues. So the parents were definitely little craps. And it makes me very angry. But I do while reading the book, though, I did realize that I probably liked the book a lot more just because the main character had parents going through a divorce, and that just kind of, like, because had parents going through divorce at the time, and I was like, okay, like, I can resonate with this. Like, I mean, the divorce did not hit me that hard, but I don't know, I just feel like the fact that her parents were getting a divorce around the time my parents were getting a divorce was kind of just something that worked out well for me. I don't know. And then another issue that I had with the book series is the main character. She had a tendency to be melodramatic, and I get life is stressful and difficult, but every 5 seconds she was like having like a mental breakdown, like, oh my gosh, my life is just so awful, it's so stressful, and would like cry, and like legit, like the first book, every 5 seconds she was crying, and I'm just like, and she would just kind of go over and over again over all of her issues and be like,
I'm tired of not knowing who I am. Why? Why can't I know what I am? What is my species? What is this about?
and like, I couldn't handle it. It was really annoying. That, and also how the author in the beginning would basically re-go over everything from the previous books. And I would be sitting there like, listen, I just read this book last night. I don't need to go over everything again. I know that Kylie has been going through this crap. Please calm yourself. Anyway, so another thing that I did adore about this book, that they introduced Kylie as a new species in the supernatural world, and that she is a chameleon, which basically is like this supernatural that has all the supernatural DNA. She can change her brain pattern, and her body can basically, you know, use the powers of the species that she chooses to be at that moment. And basically it's all the species, and it's really cool and pretty fabulous about that, and dealing with the fact that they're trying to introduce these species to the supernatural world and try to do it in such a way that doesn't lead to death or anything like that. It was amazing. And then another thing that I loved about the book that I didn't get a chance to get into was the story between Kylie and Daniel, her biological dad. Throughout the first book, we get this creepy soldier guy watching Kylie, and first she thought he was like a stalker. Come to find out, it's actually a ghost. And so she's like, okay. And as the book progresses, she proceeds to figure out who this ghost is, and then realizes, holy crap, this ghost is my biological dad. And so she does confront her mom. Her mom tells her, and, you know, it makes life crazy, but she finds that out. And then she also meets her dead grandmother, her biological grandmother, who was part of this like massive experimentation within the government to try to figure out what type of species she was, and then they murdered her after they kind of messed up. And it was just this crazy lengthy thing, and it was really cool, the fact that she got to meet them even though they weren't there anymore, and got to, you know, communicate with them and learn more about herself. And also, I really did enjoy throughout the books, it's like everyone talks about death angels, and some people don't believe in their existence, but they all kind of do. And towards the end of the book, when Kylie's dad says, I can't come visit you full on anymore, the death angels have made a deal. I'm gonna go join them. I'm gonna be a death angel, and I will always be with you. Every time you hear that little voice telling you that there's something you need to do, it's me helping you. And so Kylie, like, that was so sweet, the fact that her dad was always just gonna be there for her, you know, and even though she can't see him. And it's really sweet, and I loved how that ended. I also enjoyed the fact that sometimes the villains turned out to be the heroes, like people that you think were the bad guy or somebody that wasn't a good person. Throughout the story, they changed it up, and it became like one of the people you trusted and liked and just really cared about. It was the same with the agent whose name I don't know how to pronounce. Yeah. And also with one of the villains of the story, he actually turned around and helped Kylie and saved her life, which I think is really great. At the end of the book, there's a main conflict between Kylie and this girl named Frederica, who had a thing for Lucas, and they resolved their conflict, and Kylie helped her out, you know, with romance advice. And it was so sweet, and I loved the fact that everything was resolved towards the end, and just how cool that was. Anyway, so that's my review. Such an easy read and such a good book, and this defined, again, a really monumentous time in my life because I was moving around at the time and reading this book series, and just, it was a lot of changes going on in my life when I read this, and it defines like a really, like, this certain time in my life, and getting to read the book once again it was just, it was great getting to read it again. Like, it took me back. And as I read it, I forgot things about the book because it'd been so long since I read it. And I was like, holy crap, this is like so amazing. I can't believe I forgot about this. I can't believe I forgot this plot twist. Da-da-da-da-da. It was just, it was amazing. And I love it dearly. So, guys, if you haven't read this book series, I highly recommend you go find it, purchase it, or get it from your library, whatever, and read it. It really is worth it. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I will be coming out with more videos, guys. Summer is here. I'm currently on vacation. I'm enjoying it. I'm living my best life. The vacation's almost up though, and then I gotta go home and go back to work. Oh my gosh. Don't want to. The only comfort is the knowledge that I don't have that much longer there. Like, they are legit about to close. It's just the knowledge that I still have some time left there, and I just don't want to go back. Go check me out on all my social media. I'll be linking it all down below. And guys, stay tuned. I have some more videos coming, and I actually mean that this time, guys. I will not wait weeks, or in last case, like 2 months. Yeah, I apologize for that. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.